Do you remember a discussion, political discussion?
Very little. Very little. There was something, not that I'm paying an awful lot of attention. I do vividly remember when I was very young hearing some relatives with my parents in our apartment talking politics and I remember vividly somebody saying a Catholic could never be elected president of the United States. This must have been in the late 30s. I was totally confused because Boston is a very Catholic city. And my understanding was the Catholics were the majority. I didn't know that outside Boston that wasn't the case. I really didn't know that. So I couldn't understand why they would not elect one of their own as a president. It took me some time to understand what that was all about. So that befuddled me. I remember during the Second World War, there was some deep concern about what was happening with Jews in Europe. I remember once being very scared and very moved when my father was reading the Forwardts, and he put it down and I heard him say, Menhage Yidden, they're killing Jews, you know. Wow. What that was really all about sunk in much later, but I got it. I heard him say that. And I had a sense of what he was talking about. And then there was a question about whether Roosevelt was good for the Jews or not good for the Jews. That was a big issue. For the most part, my memory was that the Jewish people really admired him and thought highly of him. And then later we began hearing that he wouldn't bomb the crematoria, he wouldn't stop the concentration camps from operating. And the feeling was that if he did that, he would be accused of being too pro-Jewish, taking effort away from the war effort simply to try to help the Jews, you know, as opposed to beating the Germans. So there was that controversy. Those kinds of issues I remember hearing about. You know. Anti-Semitism was readily available in Boston. You could find it if you wanted it. You were exposed to it all the time, pretty much. You know. Jew bastard was one word in some communities. So you learn to kind of live with that, deal with it. You know.